Like the pandemic, if you can share, how, which is now over a year ago, how did the tragic killings of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and unfortunately, many others bring more awareness of the inequities that affect many groups? And have there been any changes since?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Brianna, because I think what happened is we had two really major events happen in our country at the same time that brought attention to the inequities, one in healthcare, one in the criminal justice system. And I think that because people saw this painful moment on TV, everyone seemed to feel real passionate about what to do. And so inside healthcare environments, I think you're seeing far more structured organizational response to bias, discrimination, certainly systemic racism, and so on. And I think the Black Lives Matter movement made it all the more important to address. We know, in addition to there being health inequities, healthcare still suffers from a significant amount of bias in its own population of employees. So if you look at most healthcare systems, there's diversity, but it's not necessarily blended in with the leadership or the executive team. It tends to be quite focused and concentrated at the front lines. And I've never met, individuals, people of color who don't want to advance their career and don't understand the importance of being seen as potentially becoming an executive. So what's happening? Well, there's bias inside healthcare as well about our own community, our own staff. And I think both of those events really made for the perfect storm to actually say, we need to do something, not just about how we serve people of color, those disenfranchised, underserved communities, but we also need to look at ourselves and understand, what are we doing internally that makes it so hard for people of color, even in some environments, women, to navigate to those C-suite opportunities. And the systemic bias, unconscious bias, those are trainings that we're doing a lot of work in right now, because I think this situation has really created that energy and that focus to actually get something done.